Welcome back to the 2023 Bracketology predictions, and let's get right into it with the very interesting top of the bracket, where we've got number 1 seed still Alabama. They've been playing pretty bad this past week, but escaped with 2 wins, one in overtime at South Carolina and at home against Arkansas on Saturday. That was a solid win there. They came back from about 5 down late in the second half there. Memphis staying strong in the American, minus the losses to Houston, playing against a USC team. Both of these teams have beat Auburn this year. USC got 2 clutch wins on the road at Utah and Colorado. Their last 2 are challenging ones against the Arizona schools. St. Mary's finished off their season with a loss at Gonzaga. That doesn't really hurt them here, but they look to the WCC tournament where they will get the triple bye. Then we've got Indiana, who's staying hot in the Big Ten, winning at Purdue on Saturday. That is about as big of a win as you can get in college basketball this year. UConn stays afloat in Big East play. They hold on to the 3 seed there just because of their early season performances. Duke stays hot in the ACC. Haven't really faced any big opponents. Won over Virginia Tech convincingly on Saturday. Mississippi State at the 10 moves up here from the bubble after their win over Texas A&M at home. Number 2 Baylor takes care of Texas at home, and then Oklahoma State on the road to become a 2 seed here. Number 1 Houston staying strong in the American, number 1 overall in the AP poll. We've got them at 2 here. Very respectable. Northwestern lost 2 straight to lose their ranking. They're down to an 8 seed in here. Auburn got blown up against Kentucky by 30, and so they dropped to a 9 seed here. They are holding on. I think they should make it, but they'd like to win their remaining SEC games just to make sure. Virginia lost a weird one at UNC. Never really had a great grasp on that game, and so they fall to the 5 seed here, and I think they're a bit of an overrated 5 seed. But how about another team that's hot is Kansas State. 3 straight wins in the Big 12, including 2 ranked victories. Kansas State is rolling right now. They're at that 5 seed in the Big 12 tournament. Then we move on to Miami, who was dealt an inexplicable loss against Florida State at home. That one is a head scratcher and severely hurts them, as Florida State is a terrible team. Rutgers at the number 11 seed squeaked by with 1 at Penn State after losing against Michigan at home earlier in the week. They stay about even, maybe even losing some ground there. Number 3 seed Arizona also dealt a loss at home against ASU on the massive buzzer beater. Everyone saw that one, so that was an interesting one there. They finish off with 2 road games against the LA schools, who are going to be hungry against them, and then get into the Pac-12 tournament, where they will most likely be the 2 seed. Number 7, Texas A&M. We already mentioned their loss to Mississippi State. If Alabama loses one of the other remaining games, then they have a home date against Alabama. That could be for a share of that SEC title. We'll see what happens. Illinois has been up and down in the Big Ten, but they're down to a 10 seed here after their loss against Ohio State. You just can't be doing that. And then Texas at the 2 seed lost to Baylor, but that one doesn't hurt them too much. Moving on to the bottom of the bracket, we've got the number 4 overall seed, UCLA. They don't have many marquee wins on this resume. They lost to Illinois, but they've been cleaning up as of late. They clinched the number 1 seed in the Pac-12, so I'm going to give them the nod over a struggling Purdue team who is the top 2. We'll get to them in a bit. Providence has been up and down as of late, just beat Georgetown, so they are solid in the Big East there. Boise State was dealt a horrible loss at San Jose State, so we'll see how they really get to the finish here. A lot of these Mountain West teams have been horrible down the stretch of the season, but we'll see how the committee treats them there. TCU has been up and down in the Big 12, barely won at Texas Tech on Saturday. We'll see how they can finish it off with their full complement there. Xavier won in a weird game on Friday in Big East action, a little extracurriculars after the final buzzer there. Number 6 Maryland is up into the rankings here, as they've won 2 straight, and they're at my 6th seed, and they're playing a number 11 Pittsburgh, who also just got ranked this week. Inexplicably, I'm probably one of the lowest people on Pittsburgh right now. They haven't really played anyone. They got railed by 30 against Michigan and West Virginia in the out-of-conference. The ACC is not that good. They only have 8 losses, but Again, the ACC is no good. They haven't really played a great strength of schedule. So I've got Pittsburgh at the 11 here. Tennessee has been up and down in SEC play, but they've been dealt a number of tight losses. So I tend to favor them at the 3 seed here. Michigan State was dealt that mind-blowing loss to Iowa on Saturday in Big Ten. And that was a crazy one. It doesn't really hurt them too much, though, to lose that one. And then Purdue already, as we already mentioned, lost to Indiana. They've really been struggling as of late. Kansas, number 1 seed in the East. We'll see how they can finish up in the Big 12 here. They have that big game against Texas coming up. Nevada just lost one, so I might even drop them another seed line down. They lost at Wyoming. This is a terrible Wyoming team, so I might have to drop Nevada another seed line for that just today. Number 9 seed here is Missouri, who's been up and down in the SEC, but they've gotten lucky more often than not, and they've got a couple good wins under their belt there. Number 5 seed is Creighton, who's really been selling down the stretch here. I could see Creighton at another couple seed lines lower, depending on how you do it. I kind of favored them here, but we'll see what happens. They have not been playing their best basketball, just lost at a good Villanova team, but not the Villanova of the past few years. Creighton needs to turn it around to really earn this 5 seed, I believe. San Diego State got a great win at New Mexico on the buzzer beater, effectively ending New Mexico's hopes. Anything short of the auto bid. The Aztecs stay at the 4 here, and they don't really have those marquee wins out of conference, but in the Mountain West, they've taken care of business, so we'll see what happens in the Mountain West tournament for them and in this final week. Number 6 seed Kentucky has really elevated their seed line with this 4-game winning streak with some marquee opponents, the latest being Auburn, as I said before, by 30. Gonzaga just beat St. Mary's. They play Chicago State in a out-of-conference game before they get their own triple bye in the WCC tournament, and they are the 2 seed just because of the net/KenPom rankings on the WCC favor St. Mary's just a bit more than them, despite being a lower seed here, because Gonzaga does have the better wins out of conference, and they have a close loss to Texas, Baylor, but a win against Alabama, so that will do it for them. Arkansas at the 7 seed here has been up and down in the SEC. Number 10 seed NC State from the ACC really needs to finish strong if they want to be in the tournament. They're kind of entering the bubble zone here. And finally, number 2 Marquette has been lighting it up as of late now into the AP top 10. And now let's get the bubble picture where we've got West Virginia after their massive win over Iowa State at the top line here. Utah State is staying in it with some clutch wins down the stretch in the Mountain West. We'll see how they can finish that off. Iowa, again, got that win against Michigan State, but it barely counted for anything for them in the net and KenPom rankings, and it only really counted for them in the strength of record because they really should not have won that game. And then North Carolina is the last team in after that win over Virginia, their first quad 1 win. But they're still very much at the edge. They also beat Florida State on the road today, so they only have that one game against Duke remaining on their schedule. We'll see how they can finish it off. That one is at home. Then Michigan is in the first 4 out. Our first team out, though, is Oklahoma State here. Just losing to Baylor at home. They really squandered this home stand when they had 2 quality opportunities at home. But then Arizona State also, we already mentioned they got the win at Arizona to climb in here. And then Penn State choked against Rutgers. And then Michigan, who has been on the rise, beat Wisconsin and beat Rutgers last week to be in the first 4 out for now. Thank you for watching. Please be sure to like and subscribe and comment your predictions below.